Okay, this is my 2014 Honda CR-V, the EX version. It's the 4th generation, and I've had this issue here for a bit on this flashing compass, wanting to recalibrate. I've tried several things that I have found nothing's working. I've called dealers, and of course they want you to come in and charge you $100+ an hour, or just $100+ just to find out what the issue is. And I don't even want this compass, so I'm going to try to disengage it or see if I can get it to reset. Now this is the fuse panel down on the left side of the driver's side where your emergency brake is, and you can pull, if you count the 4th fuse over, it's actually the 5th place, but the 4th actual fuse, it's right here. It's the B5. It didn't focus, but it's that one right there in the center. It's the B5. It's a 10 amp. If you pull that, you will cut the display off. The problem though is that it'll set a code, but it'll also shut a couple other things off in the in that display. So that's not what you want to do. Again, it'll be the 4th fuse. They're on the bottom row from the left, and you'll see that it's actually 5 fuse holders over, but the first one, there's no fuse in it. So what I'm going to do is pull the headliner in the back of the hatchback. There's the hatchback door. I'm laying on my back. Obviously this is to the back of the vehicle. The rear, this direction, is to the front of the vehicle. Now I pulled this down, this tab, and I felt up here, and this is attached to the headliner. This looks like it's for a restraint system for kids. So that I'm going to leave on. This, the light, you've got this cover with these tabs, and you'll see where the tabs are. You'll when you look close. So what I did is I used this tool, these nylon or plastic type material tools, to get up under there and just pry. You don't want to use a metal screwdriver. Well worth your time to invest in some of these tools like this, because everything today requires things to be pried apart and everything's plastic. So that's what I did so that I could get to this light, and then I'm going to remove these 2 bolts so that you can see what I'm talking about. This is the particular tool that I used in that case, but I have tons of kinds here. I just invested in, they're not all that expensive. You can get them on eBay. They come in all shapes, sizes. Harbor Freight, your local parts store. And I just have a whole bunch of different ones. That way, if I run into a job that requires it, I've got it. I don't like to be on the short end of the stick if I'm doing a job. So, I don't know, I may have probably, with all these, I don't know, maybe $100 invested, but that's just me. I kind of went overboard, but you can get a simple set, and you want something, this yellow set that I have, that first one plus these, you want something that has various different kind in one set, if you're only going to get one set. These are a little more specialized, but just get a set that's generalized, that has good ends, various ends, like the kind that you see with this yellow set. I don't remember where I bought them. Okay, to get those bolts out required an 8mm socket. Again, we are looking at the rear of the vehicle. The rear is this direction. There's the hatchback opened. Okay, now guys, it was just a simple matter of taking this tool and prying it, just going underneath here and just prying, and it popped right out. No effort at all. Okay, I'm pulling down on my headliner, and you can see there's a clip there. Okay, this is going to be the left side of the vehicle. There's a hatchback hinge. You come in here. There's a green clip in here, and I believe what I need to unhook is that blue connector. So I think what I'm going to do is try to disconnect that green connector. Okay, now this is where I said a variety of these connectors work good, because what you want to do is, with a stiff connector, get up on this tab here and just pry down, and then that'll get that green connector to come loose. So now this is the one that I used. It's rigid, doesn't have any give. Okay, I wanted something a little bit wider. Maybe I could have used this one, but in any event, I used this wide one that I had to get a good base on it, and then just pry down and pull that connector out. Okay, so there's that connector, that snap connector, right? Which is on the leftmost side of the vehicle. There you can see where I go right out. Here's the hinge to the hatchback on the left side of the vehicle. We'll follow right in. You'll see some structural member there, the bolt holding stuff together. Then you come right next to that plug that I told you, so we can pull the headliner down. You see where it receives into a hole. Just adjacent to the right of that, this plug is what you want to disconnect. That's the plug. And when it's in there, let me see if I can, when it's in there, oh Lord, let me see if I can, with that tool that I showed you, see this center tab, it pushes up. So I use that tool to push up on this tab. I don't know if I can, it's hard to reach here. Okay, so right there, I use that tool to push up on the tab. Okay, and then I just took and pulled out on the unit. So I got a little closer. So again, push up on this center tab right here. You'll see that it's raised. Oh, there. Push up on it. I use that tool. And then, because I have the limited space, and then as I pushed up on it with that tool, right here where this little area is here, I got my fingernail behind it and pulled out. That disconnected it from this box. And so then all I'm going to do is just pull it back and leave it. And there you have it, guys. No more of that compass flashing to calibrate. It's not anything that I need. I don't want it. So I said, let's just get it the hell out of there. And it's not all that hard of a job to do. It's fairly simple in my estimation. So with that plug out of the way, we need to put these back together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here, find the area, and then come over here. Yeah. Let's see where that was. Right about here. And you can hear it. You can hear it. Next, I'm just going to work the headliner using another one of those plastic tools. Just work the rubber gasket. Well, you see what I'm doing. I'm going to need two hands, so I'm going to go ahead and but that's how and there you have it. So much easier to do when you're using two hands. But you see the headliner's nice, tucked back underneath. And so now what I'm going to do is, all I've got to do is reassemble the rear light switch assembly. Bolt it back in. Okay, so I've got the light unit screwed back in. Let's make sure the light still works. I did. It does work. Okay. And you know what? This is a real simple job. It took longer because I'm doing this video. But if you were doing this yourself and you had those simple tools, 8mm socket, get yourself a set of those simple tools at Harbor Freight, and it'd take you no time, absolutely no time. Like I said, I fooled around with that B5 fuse, and then it set a code, which I have a tool, I reset it. It's no big deal. I got rid of it and you know, plugged the fuse back in. Had it, I think it took out, I'm trying to think now, I did it a couple days ago. I think it took out the radio to display, I forget. But in any event, if it would have just taken that out, I would have left the fuse, but it didn't. So anyways, now all we got to do is put the cover. Let me see if I can do this while I'm doing the video here. Yeah, there it is. Real simple. So you know what, don't let the dealers do this job. This is real simple. You can invest in a couple dollars in tools and have them for another job and do it yourself. Like I said, they wanted over $100 just to analyze it, and you know, I didn't want the compass anyways. And that's the unit. If you needed to replace it, more than likely it was that unit not working, because everything I did per the manual did not take care of it. And so it was probably just that module that blue connector was plugged in. And that's something you could have changed yourself. I don't know what they cost. I didn't look into it again because I didn't want it.